Okay, hello, there you are. We're gonna make a video in my truck. Like the old videos I used to make. Remember that? Like I just hold the camera like this. Still after all these years, I just do it so basic. I don't know why. I could add production and get a nice camera and all that, but for some reason like I'm intuitively pulled just to be super basic and real. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that if you do that you're not real. What I'm saying is like I just love the nitty-gritty. But anyway, I wanted to make this video about my Kundalini awakening and how it happened and what the fuck really happened. What went on? I want to take away all the mystical bullshit and just straight up tell you what happened to me. So I kind of went over a little bit of this in my podcast I did with Float Universe, and if you haven't seen that, just type in Float Universe in Spotify or YouTube, and the 2-hour podcast will come up. And there's a lot of good information in there. But essentially, I grew up in a broken home. There was a lot of abuse. There was sexual abuse. There was physical abuse. I didn't suffer sexual. I suffered physical and mental. It was me and my brother and my sister, and I had several stepdads. And it just really put me in a dark place early on in life to where I just really had a problem with authority in school. I lashed out because I didn't know my father, and my stepfathers were terrible. But I had a really good relationship with my grandfather, and he saved my life, and he taught me work ethic and masculine values. So I really owe him everything. He died when I was 19 years old. So I'm just grateful he got to raise me as my real father. But growing up in the broken home, and my mom was struggling. She was working her ass off. She was going to school, and she was trying to provide for us, but basically the daycare raised us. And then my grandfather, I worked my ass off with him on the weekends. So life sucked, man, for me. I was poor, and I worked my ass off constantly, and I just wanted more. I knew there had to be more to life, more than just pain and suffering and poverty and suicidal thoughts and terrible things. And so I searched for that, and I searched for that basically through drugs at first, through psychedelics, that especially psilocybin. It really opened my eyes up to altered states of consciousness, like out of the five senses of the physical reality. It opened me up to that. So it kind of planted a seed for the future where I would become spiritually awake. You know what I mean? Like it was really essential in that way. So anyway, my life, it was right, we're at 9/11 basically. That shit programmed me and my friends like a motherfucker to be very warlike. And we played first-person shooters, and we just couldn't wait till we turned 18 in 2003 to join the Marines and go over to Iraq and get revenge. That was what we thought, because the Matrix and the Deep State programmed us that well, and the Pentagon programmed, and the Department of Defense programmed us that well, that we thought we were defending our family and our brothers and sisters, and we're going to go over there and we're going to whoop ass, and fight evil. But they fucking lied to us, and we didn't know it yet. But thankfully, when I was 17, I rolled my truck and broke my spine, and I almost died. I had a friend in the canopy and everything, and a 300-pound friend right next to me with no seatbelt. And I held on for dear life, dude. And I almost got my fucking arm ripped off. The side of the gravel was scraping my face. I could have got my head ripped off. I could have, the truck could have rolled over and killed me. But I just held on for dear life like this with the steering wheel, with my knees. And every time I rolled, I smashed my head in the ceiling, and it fucking crunched my spine. But, so, I got over that, but it kind of put addiction into me, like way more, like pills and alcohol, and I managed to graduate high school. I got suicidal, and the demons really took over. I was drinking a lot of fucking whiskey, and I got involved with this gang out in the desert, and we did some really terrible things, and some crime, not like violence against people. So I just was getting suicidal, and I was about to kill myself, and I tried, and a synchronicity actually saved my life. So I had my grandma and my mom come out to rescue me, basically, and they packed all my shit. I went back to the valley in Oregon from the desert because it was just killing me out there, dude. And I didn't want to work selling fucking vacuums or a meat packing plant. So I went, all my friends went over to Iraq and joined the Army, the Navy, the fucking Marines. So I was like, fuck it, let's go. And my newest stepdad, who was actually a good one, he was a Marine, he was a firefighter, so he drove me over there, and I was like, let's fucking do this. I was 19 years old, I was gonna go fight. And this was 2004. And after some tests and stuff, they failed me. They wouldn't let me join Marines because of my back injury. I couldn't carry a 120-pound pack or whatever. And then I also had a gun charge from when I was 15, and I had tattoos and shit. I've had tattoos since I was 14 years old. So anyway, that was a blessing in disguise, man. That truck accident was a blessing in disguise, because I went over the Middle East, and that shit fucked my friend's head up. 2 of them. They were involved in killing civilians at checkpoints in Iraq because the engagement rules were, if they don't stop when they come to your checkpoint, when you tell them to, you light them up. So they were fucking, automatic grenade launchers, fucking 7.62, squad automatic weapons, just light up these cars. And a lot of times they were full of families, dude. And he told me what happened, and he showed me pictures. He came to visit. And anyway, I went into music because I just wanted to do something fucking epic. I wanted to revolt against the man and do art. And that's what I did. And then the drugs increased. I got hooked on opiates because I was like such a terrible alcoholic that it was like logical for me to turn into opiates because I didn't black out and do stupid shit on the opiates. So I got into opiates, right? Then, like I said in the podcast, I hooked up with my girlfriend at the time, who was a lawyer, and her parents were paying our bills. So I just played music, and then in every other spare minute, I just researched like conspiracy theories and light body stuff. Not really too deep in the light body at the time. It was just like learning about the chakras, basically, and Taurus and Nassim Haramein, and a lot of occult stuff. And I just downloaded all this information. It was 2012 then, and that's what 2012 was for me, was a spiritual awakening, essentially. It started in 2008, but it really hit in 2012, and then it really hit whole nother level in 2014, then a whole nother level 2017, and then a whole nother level this year in February. So I had a Kundalini awakening, but not until 2017. So 2012 essentially was my spiritual awakening. That's when I started fucking trying to activate the energy centers, just trying to feel if the chakras are real, trying to play with crystals. I couldn't feel anything. And I was hooked on dope at the time, and I was dope sick like every week, dude. It was a fucking living hell. Cold turkey heroin withdrawal every fucking week because we couldn't afford our habit. It was up to like $200 a day. So it's just perpetual sickness. And I was bedridden. My back injury got worse and worse and worse. I just became more and more introspective and meditative. And all of a sudden I started having out-of-body experiences. I shot out of my body after I did a shot of heroin. I might have died. I don't know. I went out of my body. This is my very first out-of-body experience. I went out of my body, turned around, looked at my physical body, floated above it. I remember seeing my black light. It looked just so crazy, and it lit up the whole room. Then a wormhole opened up in the corner of my room, and I fucking shot down it, went to the end of it, stopped. A big screen popped up, and it said, "State your name." I hesitated because I have a legal last name that I don't use. I have my real dad's last name I don't use. I have a legal last name from a stepdad that took me, adopted me. So I got confused. As soon as I showed any hesitation, the wormhole spit me back into all the way back through and into my body. And that just blew my fucking mind, dude. It smashed my paradigm. Before that, I was an atheist. If I couldn't see with my 5 senses, it wasn't real to me, So this smashed my paradigm like a motherfucker. Anyway, then my dark night of the soul began, like really hardcore, and the money ran dry. The heroin destroyed everything, me and my relationship with my woman. And then I became homeless, and then I really almost died and survived on the streets. An angel helped me get into a detox program. Then I was like all motivated to get all buff and make a bunch of money because my friends were like posting missing posters of me on Facebook and shit. And so like everyone I grew up with, all my friends, all my family, everyone saw me at my worst, like scuff marks because I got beaten up by a cop, and my mugshot looked fucking horrible. I was emaciated, just the worst condition. And so I had like something to prove. Plus my ex-girlfriend like moved on immediately and started banging a new guy. So like my heart was just fucking broken, dude. And I wanted to prove to everybody that I wasn't this emaciated junkie. So what I did was I just started lifting weights nonstop, eating food. I gained 60 fucking pounds of muscle in 6 months. I know that sounds impossible, but it's not. You literally just nonstop eat and work out. That's all you do. Because my addictive personality just transferred to that. So anyway, so basically I threw away all my spiritual knowledge and then dove headfirst into the materialism again. I was like polarizing back and forth. But I knew, because I had astral projected before, and I knew about these I knew I was spiritual. Every time I look in the mirror, yeah, I had huge muscles and shit, but I wasn't projecting. I wasn't lucid dreaming. I wasn't dreaming for shit. So I knew I was like living this lie. And it just got worse and worse and worse. I found a new girlfriend. She was amazing, but she fell in love with this jacked dude that was all aggressive and manly and making money. I started taking SARMs at the time, so it was fucking with my hormones. Then I relapsed because it was all just a lie to me. I wasn't happy. I relapsed. I did meth. I did heroin. I got hooked again. Got hooked on heroin. Lost all the muscle very fast, like really fast. I got off the SARMs, everything. My T levels crashed. My estrogen spiked. Once again, I was dope sick every fucking week. We're talking 2017 now. 2016, 2017. I got so suicidal, bro, in that apartment with my girlfriend. We fell out of love quick. I changed. I was a dope fiend again. I went from a super jacked, amazing, masculine man to like a super feminine dope fiend. Anyway, I was going to kill myself in my room. And I was pacing back and forth. Just the most lowest vibration I've ever experienced, I think. Just going insane, sobbing, just going insane. And I was gonna fucking kill myself because I had tried many times before. Thankfully, I cut the wrong way on my wrists because I thought you're supposed to cut this way from the movies and shit. And I almost died from that in 2011, but someone saved my life. I just bled out almost to death, but someone saved me. If I would have cut the right way, I would have been done. But I wasn't meant to go out like that. Anyway, so I was about to do it, and I just fell on my knees, and I just like begged God, because my spirituality, I knew it was still there. I knew God was real. I knew multidimensionality was real. I knew there was something to it. I knew that the light body stuff was real. I just didn't really experience much about it yet. I had like a couple out-of-body experiences, and that's it. That's right there is when I died, okay? That was my death. Just totally destroyed. The next morning, I woke up with a tingly, burny sensation in my coccyx, in my lower spine. I knew what it was because I had read about it. I was like, oh my God, this is Kundalini energy. It finally happened for me. What the fuck? And it took me 20 minutes to push that tingle, that sparkly tingle in what it was is my electrolytes firing off. It took me 20 minutes to push that all the way up my spine into my pineal gland. Once it hit my brain, dude, the DMT, the colors just flooded. Just like violets and purples and shit. And I just blasted out. I shot straight out of my body. And it was just like rainbow shards flying down like this. And I kind of like panicked, and then I just like pulled the plug Because you can do that out of body if you just, it's like an eject button. If you're scared or whatever, you just like intuitively can go back to your physical body. So that's what I did. I went back to my physical body, and I was just like, I just started sobbing because I knew what had just happened. I had a Kundalini awakening. So that was 2017. I was 33 years old. I died and I was resurrected, like the allegory of how our sun dies. You know, and the vertebrae is 33 lumbar, 33 vertebrae, and then the chrism raises and dies on the cross right there. That's the cross. So, you know, that's what happened. That's my Kundalini awakening in a very small nutshell. We're already at 16 minutes, but it took me from 2017 till this year, February, to have a full Kundalini awakening, because I didn't fully understand how to cycle and my energy through my body and my Taurus yet. And I finally figured out 100% February this year. So it took me from 2017 to 2023 to figure it out. And that's because I'm really fucking stubborn, and I just wanted to do all of it intuitively on my own and figure it out in my own body and develop my own vernacular and my own methods and my own techniques. And I did that. I didn't go off the Vedic tradition. I didn't go off the, you know, the scientific stuff. I didn't go off the Hermes stuff. I went off of the me stuff. My own body, my own words, my own methods. And I finally figured it out. And so what's cool now is if I do research and I watch, you know, I look at Vedic stuff, or I look at Hindu stuff, or I look at Dan Winter, or I look at Hermes and all that shit, like, it all clicks. It's like, yep, that's what I feel, that's what I know. The Taoist stuff in China, yep, clicks. So basically, and then through the process of learning to utilize the Kundalini energy and push it on my spine, I also learned how the sexual energy is the same thing. So that's where I developed nutting up the spine. It's essentially focusing the plasma in your aura and in your body down to your root chakra, amplifying it, and then shooting it back up into the higher centers. That's what nutting up the spine means. I just kind of gave it a crude, funny name at first, and it stuck. It just took off. So now I'm like stuck with it. But so yeah, it took me from 2017 to 2023 to really nail it down. And now I completely know how to do it. And my mission purpose is to teach other people how to unlock the energy too, to raise their vibration, activate their light body, and to experience multidimensionality, to travel outside of their body into especially the fourth dimension and above. So the astral planes, and then also the mental plane. That is my goal, okay? And it's my biggest goal, because for the initiate, for those that are ready, it is just the most amazing. I mean, I can't even explain to you. Every good movie or story is essentially a metaphor or allegory for this, man. We are the real superheroes. It's us. And we all have the ability to go multidimensional and go fourth density and above. So in the Law 1, it says that the humans will ascend in a fourth density and above. That's what this is. That's what this is. It's 4D, 5D. Astral plane, mental plane. Astral plane, Devachanic realm. The Devachanic realm is where you really want to be, because it's just like the pure spiritual plane. It's just beautiful. It's like a rainbow dimension. No negative stuff. It's just so fucking beautiful and high vibe. And the 4D, it can be beautiful and high vibe too, in the upper 4D astral plane. So there's like 4D, but there's a lower and a middle and an upper. The middle is like where you guys go when you dream every night. And the thing is, when you activate this energy and implode your aura, what I'm wanting to teach you, you'll be able to transition from when your body falls asleep, your mind won't. And so you'll go into these dream realms, which is the fourth dimensional astral realm, and you'll be able to keep your lucidity and be able to do whatever the hell you want. But it's not something you should play around with. It can be very dangerous, because you have to do it the right way, and you have to be vibrating at the right level, or else you're going to get into trouble and you're going to be attacked. Okay? So that's why I put teaching people this off for so long, because I was like, I'm not ready, they're not ready, like, no, I need to be more healed, I need to be more perfect. But that's bullshit, okay? The time is now. There's no better time than now. So yeah, that's the Kundalini energy. If you want it put in like Western, so Kundalini, Kunda is curve, Lini is line. The curve is feminine, the line is masculine. You can see it in our physical bodies. Look how pointy I am, dude. Do I look like I have many curves? I'm a V. A woman is like that. It's in her hips and legs. A man's up in his shoulders and arms. So it's just another, Kundalini is another representation of the dual energies, the Ida the Pingala, that are in the universe, that operate in the universe. So, and then the scalar wave is what it's called in science or electrical engineering. So it wraps like this around your spine and your endocrine system and goes up to your brain. So you got to basically breathe in energy consciously through diaphragmatic breathing, through conscious breathing from the cosmos and from the feet, from the ground, the earth, the ions in the earth. You're like a feedback loop, your aura, and you just am constantly exchanging this energy and imploding it in your aura. So when you consciously, though, the key is when you consciously, in meditation, in the techniques that I can teach you, pull it in from above and below. Basically, you pull it in from the top like a big old charge, baby. It goes down the front channel where the chakras are, the plasma cones in electrical engineering. They're called plasma cones. They're not, you can call them the chakrams. Essentially, it's just an ancient Vedic term. You know, they use symbolism for like flowers and shit. Lotus flower. But they've been studied and scientifically studied now and mapped out. And they're centripetal cones, essentially. But so I call them plasma cones, or I call them chakras. They're interchangeable. So you breathe that huge charge down the front. It goes down, and then it wraps underneath your spine and then into your coccyx and your sacrum. And that's when that charge then starts charging your electrolytes in your spinal cord, in your spinal fluid. And then that's where the Kundalini comes from, man, or the what it's called in electrical engineering, ultraviolet cascading phonon wave is what it's called in electrical engineering. So then you push that charge right up your spine, and then this is where horny comes from in our culture. It's because when you're horny, that's where the ancient symbolism comes from. It has to do with Taurus the bull too. But in a lot of it, like the Kundalini man symbolism, he's like holding snakes and he's got a big antlers and shit, and he's sitting in a lotus position. That's what that means, is that phonon wave has ascended out of your crown chakra, because it's literally detectable that it will come out of you like that and be like horns. It's crazy, dude. So, oh man. But it's really all about your heart, because that's where it implodes, right? So that's the ancient Jesus, the Kemetic sign for a connection, right? And then they always show the heart and the sun. So you are a portal. Your heart is a portal. It's a gateway. So when you implode it, boom, your consciousness shoots through like a portal, and where it can go through the heart of stars, because what all stars are portals. So it's basically a black hole with a sheath of plasma around it, and you can blast through it and through the local 13 star system and all over the cosmic web if you learn how to raise this energy and implode your aura. I mean, that's going to take, I don't even really know how to consciously do that right now. I'm lucky if I get to the mental or Jevachanic plane, and this is from lots of discipline and experience. But you might unlock it way better than I ever could. And I want you to know something, man. I might look edgy and I might cuss a lot, and I got these dark tattoos or whatever, but judge a book by its fruits, or, judge a tree by its fruits, okay? You might take the information that I learned and just fucking blast off way farther than me, because I got a shadow, I got an ego. Maybe you're vibing higher than me. Maybe I have the key that you need to just fucking take off. You know what I mean? And that's what I know intuitively is going on, and I need to do that. I need to share my information and help people, because I'm literally, it would be a regret on my deathbed if I didn't teach this shit that I went through hell to learn. Okay? So I hope that you guys got something out of that. That's essentially the Kundalini awakening that I had. I mean, it was so much more deeper and crazier, and the ride has just been incredible. And also, it's about the journey, right? Not the destination. But I just wanted to put it in a nutshell for really easy terms for you to understand. Now, if you feel like you're ready for this, just stay tuned, man, because I plan on quitting my day job and doing this full time. You know, and of course I got to vet you out because I don't want you to blast off in a demonic hell zone dimension. If I teach you how to activate your light body, then you go insane and get a fucking schizophrenia diagnosis and take a bunch of antipsychotic pills, and then your family's ruined and everything's ruined. Like, that's the last thing I want to do. But I'm assuming you're a very strong soul if you listen to me and you're not like, this guy's a fucking nut. So anyway, I need to go eat dinner, dude. I need to go cook. But anyway, I just wanted to make that fucking video, and I love you all so much, and stay tuned, please. And I'm taking clients on. I'm about to take a third one in a couple of days, so we're doing it, baby. So just stay tuned, okay? And I'm gonna get a website built. Just be patient, man. Oh my God, just be patient. I mean, some of you stayed with me for like 6 fucking years, and I know, I see that, and you're the ones that I want to get to next, okay? So just stay tuned, stay up, and stay fractal. I fucking love you all.